Hi, everyone. In today's meeting, I'm going to talk about the statement of co-authorship. What is it? How does it look like? And what is the importance of it? So let's start with what is a statement of co-authorship. So this statement of co-authorship is actually something that is part of a university requirement, especially when there are multiple authors who are collaborating on a thesis or a project or a publication. The statement of co-authorship declares the contribution of each author, sometimes to the exact percentage of contribution, or sometimes just in order of the author's contribution. So in order, so the lead author and then the subsequent authorship series. As you can see on your screen, this is what a typical statement of co-authorship looks like, although it might be slightly different when it is used in your university. This is also used in cases when a thesis by publication is completed by a candidate, and in that the candidate has to attach all the publications completed during the candidature period, in which it is preferred that the candidate is the lead author of all the publications. Then, of course, the secondary authors are normally the supervisors. So, and that could be in any order depending on the contribution of the supervisor, the primary supervisor and the secondary supervisor, or if there are any other supervisors or any advisors, in order of contribution, of course. So the primary supervisor doesn't always have to be the second author. He or she can be the second or the third author, depends on the contribution here. So basically the statement of co-authorship declares the work of each author in a publication. It also shows that all authors were in agreement when the publication was submitted or when the publication was published by a journal or a conference. Because sometimes what happens is that after a publication is published and it is out there in the public domain, some author may express their objection in terms of the sequence in which their name came up. So maybe an author feels that their contribution was more than the primary author or the second author, and their name was put maybe as a third or the fourth author. So they might make an objection to it. And then there are issues and there are conflicts that result from it. So to avoid all these conflicts, a statement of authorship is signed by each and every author involved in a publication or a project or a thesis to show that they all agree with the defined contribution in the statement. So here, of course, as you see, the statement of co-authorship is used as an example for inclusion in the thesis. Like I said, if a candidate has completed their thesis by publication, so this statement is required as to each publication, what each publication, who was authored, who authored the publications. The candidate, like I said, you can see on the form itself, is normally the first author, and then the following authors are in order of publication. So here you can see in the form itself, it shows that the candidate must for each paper list all authors and provide details of their role in the published work. So these details, where applicable, can provide a percentage estimation of the contribution. So you can write something like this, that the candidate was the primary author and with more than 50% of the contribution, and then author one maybe contributed in the idea or in the formalization and development, or in the their contribution was 20%, then author 3 was 20%, or author 3 was 15%, and the author 4 was 15% as well. So 50 plus it about makes up about 100%, right? So you can, depends on what is the university requirement. You can also provide an example like author 5 offered general laboratory assistance. Although ideally the authors should have made a sizable or a noticeable contribution in the paper, only then their name should be included in the paper. All right. So this is what it looks like, and then it has to be signed. Sometimes it has to be signed by all the authors, And sometimes towards the bottom of the form, the supervisor or the primary supervisor and the head of school signs it to show agreement or express agreement with the proportion of work undertaken as defined by the lead author or as defined by the candidate. So remember, if you are doing any kind of joint work, sometimes even in research projects, and especially if there are publications involved, or if there is any kind of project where credit is involved, where there could be stakeholders who are going to credit you for this project, make sure that the contribution is very detailed and clear. So that's why in many research projects, before you start the project with your team, sometimes at the very beginning, experienced supervisors and experienced investigators make it very clear to what the role of each team member would be and how their contribution would line up, and in what order will their names come up in the publication as well. So even if you are the lead author and you want to work with someone else, please make it very clear to them as to what you expect from them and how much will their contribution be, or whether they are going to be the second author or they're going to be third or the fourth author. So these are things that I didn't know when I started writing publications, and I used to feel a bit lost. So I thought I'll make a video on this. And if you have any questions on this, then please let me know. Otherwise, contact your university graduate research office and find out what requirements are there in your university regarding statement of co-authorship. Thank you for watching today's video, and bye for now.